Good evening. So happy to see you. I'm Leah Ruckberg, your host, and I'm happy to welcome you to Holidays, Best, Worst, and Most Memorable. All holidays are based around stories, and of course we tell those big archetypal stories over and over again. But equally important are those little stories that we tell around the dining room table, and sometimes just the stories that we share around circles of intimate friends. But all of these stories are a part of what makes us human. So tonight we're going to share our own specific memories around the holidays, and I think you're going to find something here that you can relate to as well. Dolores Simmons has been known as the story teacher at the Rochester City School District, from which she is now happily retired. She's been telling stories all of her life and sharing her gift to all who have ears to hear. Storytelling gives her the opportunity to pass on her history, her culture, her values, to make connections, and to teach lessons. Tonight she will also be telling a gift I'll always remember. So stage is yours, madame.
A story. Let it come, let it go. A story, a story. The story that I'm going to tell you this evening took place not too long ago. It seems like it was just yesterday. The year was 1957. I was in the 3rd grade at Melrose Elementary High School in Memphis, Tennessee. There were, 25 of us in that class. Mrs. Hamilton's class. And we were all excited because we were going to have a Christmas party. Mrs. Hamilton had told each of us children to bring in a wrapped gift fitting for either a boy or a girl. She let us decorate the little small Christmas tree that she had brought in. I mean, we used construction paper, red and green, made some circles and taped them together and made a garland to go around the tree. We handmade other decorations. We were really excited. Mrs. Hamilton decided to determine who would pick the first gift that she would put 25 numbers in a brown paper bag. And each of us had to pick a number out of the bag. The thing about that, everybody wanted number 1 because the tree was surrounded with gifts. But there was one gift up under the tree that was big, huge. It was red, and it was shiny, and it had silver jingle bells on top. Now, you know we all wanted that gift. She went around with the bag, and she let you put your hand down in the bag, and everybody picked a number. When it got to me, I put my hand down in the bag and kind of, And then I picked my number and I put it close to my heart and I started praying. Oh Lord, let this be number 1. I opened it up and guess what number I had? Number 1. I had number 1. I was so happy. I had number 1. And you know what gift I chose. I went right up under that little old tree and I picked up that big box box, that big red shiny box, and I took it back to my desk. And all the kids was looking at me all funny like, why you had to pick it? So everybody got their gifts. And then Mrs. Hamilton said, okay, you can open your gifts. And I didn't open mine right away because I wanted to see what the other children had. So they started opening up their gifts, and some had paper dolls, some had marbles, oh, they had jacks. Oh, I said, oh, I hope I got some jacks, because I used to love to throw that ball up and play with those jacks. And they had all sorts of things. They had cookies in a box. One girl got a big old candy cane. Must have been about that big. Oh, and it was fat too. I said, wow, she was happy. One girl got a car, and she really wasn't happy with getting that car. So she traded with a boy who had got paper dolls. Mm-hmm. And everybody started yelling, open your gift, Lois, open your gift, open your gift, Lois. So I decided to open my gift. But I had to be really, really careful because I didn't want to tear that red, shiny paper because I was going to use that paper for my mother's gift. And I was going to take that jingle bell and put it on our front door. So I opened up my package really, really carefully. When I opened up the box, there was another box inside of that box. So I took that box out and I opened up that box. There was still another box inside. So I took that box out and I opened up that box. There was nothing in it. And all the kids did just that. They said, nah, 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 goody, 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 good for you. You ain't got nothing. But the tears began to roll down my cheeks. I was so sad. And then Mrs. Hamilton said, class, I want each and every one of you to come and sit in front of me. I didn't want to sit in front of her. I had an empty box. We all sat in front of Miss Hamilton. And Miss Hamilton said, I gave Dolores that box. I gave her an empty box so that I could teach all of you a lesson. That you cannot judge a gift by the way that it is wrapped, or by its size, or how pretty it is. That is not the way you judge your gift. I also want you to know that you cannot judge a book by its cover. She said, and then again, you cannot judge people by the way that they look, or by the way they dress, or by the way they wear their hair. You have to look at people from the inside. That's what's really important. We all looked at each other. Why is she trying to teach a lesson on Christmas Day? And especially me, using me. Finally, she said, here, Dolores, I have a gift for you. And I opened up my gift, and she gave me Poor Pitiful Pearl. 1957, I still have Poor Pitiful Pearl. And why do I still have Poor Pitiful Pearl? Because every time I look at Poor Pitiful Pearl, I think about the lesson that I learned from Mrs. Hamilton. that lesson that I learned kept me going throughout my teenage years and even into my adult years. Because I'll tell you, as a teenager, as a young woman, it was all about the looks when it came to a man, honey. I wanted me a tall, dark, good-looking man. But when I look at poor, pitiful girl, I always remember it's not about the looks. It's all about what's on the inside. And that's the end of that story.
Yeah, that's why they call her the story teacher.